Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your one channel for everything VR related. Today, we have an update to my infamous don't buy the Oculus Quest 2 until you watch this video. The primary goal of this video and the previous one is to simply educate potential buyers before they make their purchase. The Oculus Quest 2 is actually fairly easy to recommend to anyone interested in getting into VR. That being said though, the Quest 2 and VR in general is just not right for everyone. I would hate for someone to waste hundreds of dollars only to have their headset start collecting dust after a few months and to be left with the sentiment that VR is just a gimmick. Please also understand that pointing out any flaws in the Oculus Quest 2 is not an attempt to dissuade you from buying one, nor is it in any way an endorsement of another VR headset. The Quest 2 is currently the most popular headset, and I'm just looking to educate people before they make any potential purchase. The title of this video isn't "Don't buy an Oculus Quest 2", it's "Don't buy an Oculus Quest 2 until you watch this video". Okay, so if you're looking to learn if the Oculus Quest 2 and VR in general is right for you, let's not waste any more time and jump right into this video with reason number 1. This reason used to be the Oculus Quest 2 is not the best headset, but I'm renaming this reason to it might not be the best headset for you. This is an extremely subjective topic, and best simply comes down to what you are looking to get out of your experience. For some, best might mean the cheapest headset that delivers a quality experience. And in this regard, nothing competes with the Oculus Quest 2. It's easily the biggest bang for your buck, and it's also currently the only commercial headset that works without a gaming PC. So obviously this is ideal for most people. For others, best means the highest visual and audio quality. There's also other situations where the Quest might not be the best headset for you, and from a hardware spec standpoint, there are many headsets that rival the Quest 2 in terms of resolution, refresh rate, field of view, tracking accuracy, comfort, and audio quality. The Quest 2 strives for mainstream adoption, and in the majority of the categories I just listed, it's simply good enough. If you are someone with a high-end gaming PC looking for the best visual and audio experience, you might prefer a headset from Valve, Pimax, or even HP. If you compete on an extremely high level, you can benefit from the reduced latency, higher refresh rate, and improved tracking of some other headsets. The Quest is a mobile gaming device which is also capable of playing PC VR games, and the mobile experience isn't quite on par with what you get from PC VR. So if you had absolutely no interest in mobile gaming, and you don't mind being tethered to a PC, you might prefer a headset designed specifically for PC VR. Now, reason number 2 has remained mostly the same. You're most likely going to spend more than $299 on this device. Those previous categories where I mentioned the Quest 2 is just good enough might feel like a letdown to some people, and they'll want to enhance the audio quality, comfort, and even the battery life. I personally find the default strap on the Oculus Quest to be extremely uncomfortable and unsupportive. For me, the Elite strap is an absolute necessity. The in-strap audio quality is also extremely lacking, so you might want to upgrade to a better audio solution. The default materials can be a bit scratchy, so you might want to slap on a VR cover. If you wear eyeglasses and they don't fit in the Oculus Quest, your only options are prescription lenses or smaller frames. If you want to extend your battery life past 2 hours, you'll need an additional battery. And if your Wi-Fi setup isn't great, you'll need either a USB link cable or a router upgrade in order to play PC VR games. Now, many of these issues aren't unique to the Oculus Quest 2 itself. Comfort mods are sold for the majority of VR headsets, but from my personal experience with 9 different headsets, the Oculus Quest 2 has a much greater need for upgrades out of the box than the majority of other headsets. The size of video games is also rapidly increasing. Titles like The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners are roughly 10 gigabytes in size, and the Blue Planet VR is almost 20 gigabytes. The meager 64 gigabytes of space on the $300 model Oculus Quest 2 will use up all its space after only a few titles of this size. If you like to switch back and forth between a lot of different games, I recommend you go with the 256 gigabyte model. I'm currently using about 70 gigabytes of space with 22 games installed, but that does not include those large games I previously mentioned. My personal recommendation is a 256 gigabyte model with the Elite strap and battery pack, putting the headset at $530. Now, the upgrades you deem necessary will vary. There are cheaper third-party options, and even with a $350 price tag, this is still a great deal compared to many other VR headsets. Now for many, the Oculus Quest 2 can also be the gateway drug to PC VR gaming. So if you really love gaming on your Quest and want to take it to the next level, chances are there's a $1,000 gaming PC in your future. Titles like Half-Life Alyx, Boneworks, Star Wars Squadrons, and even large portions of VR chat are only available with a PC. Okay, so the third reason why the Oculus Quest 2 might not be right for you is the type of games. VR gaming is very different from traditional console gaming. While there are hundreds of titles available for the Oculus Quest, the majority are undeniably shallow, with 4 hours of content or less. If you're looking for some depth, there are very few titles that will satisfy you. There are also whole genres like RPGs and RTS that are completely underrepresented, and many multiplayer titles, except for the most popular ones, struggle to maintain a player base. Now, if you game simply to be entertained and enjoy competitive leaderboards, then the Quest should do the job fine. But even if you decide to upgrade to PC VR gaming, while this will significantly expand your overall library, there is still a lack of big budget titles and overall content. There are also two other factors to consider with VR gaming. That's mobility and motion sickness. If you have any physical disability that limits your ability to walk or your overall mobility, VR gaming might not be right for you. Yes, there are plenty of seated experiences, but there are many more VR experiences that require you to be physically active. In fact, it's quite common to break a sweat every time you play a VR game, and some games can be straight cardio. My average heart rate while playing Until You Fall is around 140 beats per minute, and many games have pushed it much higher. So if you're looking for traditional slouch on the couch, lean back console gaming, it will severely limit the amount of playable VR games. Motion sickness is another concern. For the majority of users, roughly 80%, they will experience little to no motion sickness. Approximately 15% of people will experience more moderate symptoms but will eventually adapt, and a very small percent will suffer from severe motion sickness symptoms and may never fully adapt. So if you are someone who experiences motion sickness, I recommend trying a VR headset before buying one and sticking to lower intensity games until you start to feel comfortable. Okay, so reason number 4 why you might not want to pick up an Oculus Quest 2 is the parent company, Facebook. This is not a personal attack or an argument against Facebook. There's no need to tell me that every other company does the same bad things as Facebook. There are just some people out there who have a personal issue with Facebook. And this is just an FYI that Facebook owns Oculus. I have multiple videos on the topic of Facebook. It's very easy to paint them as the bad guys, but at the same time, you can't dismiss the fact that they are the only company truly pushing VR forward at this moment in time. I'll post some cards with some additional videos if you want more information on this topic, but at the moment, there is no other VR standalone competitor. So your options are avoid Facebook and spend $1,300 or more on a gaming PC plus PC VR headset, or spend a little bit over $300 for a Quest 2 and maybe get a PC down the road if you end up loving VR. Okay, so the final reason is right now might not be the right time for you to jump into VR. There is no rush. I made my original video just after Christmas because I knew so many people were in the honeymoon phase with their Quest and were blindly recommending it to everyone before really spending a lot of time with the device. I personally care about your wallet. I don't want you spending hundreds of dollars on something you don't end up using. And VR is only just now on the cusp of going mainstream. It is a great time to jump in, but we are still 2 or more years out before getting some of those truly high-end, big-budget titles. It's likely that Facebook will be releasing an Oculus Pro model sometime next year, and there are rumors floating around that Valve is working on new hardware. So if you're not sure about making the jump into VR, just give it some more time. Things are rapidly improving. If you purchased a cheap VR device 2 years ago, it is absolutely pathetic compared to what is available right now. So if $300 is a really big expense for you, or you're skeptical about VR, just wait a little bit longer. I personally believe VR is the future, and I was absolutely blown away the moment I put on my original Vive back in 2016, and now the Quest 2 can deliver a far superior experience in a standalone device. So maybe VR isn't good enough for everyone right now, but I think it will be in the near future. Okay everybody, that was today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, I will see you guys on next time.